My guest host in today, Gene Pastula, certified financial planner. You're not going to want to miss this, guys. So sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. The Ray Revolution starts right now. Oh, man. Gino, what's up?
Hey, I'm just glad to be out. You
Yeah,
know?
out of jail, out of prison. Yeah, the people on the radio didn't hear that part.
Yeah,
but when I
the
introduced,
air is great out there.
When I introduced him to the TV audience, I said I had just broke him out of jail. And then I teased, I said, no, it really didn't happen. It did 10 years ago, but hasn't happened recently. Anyway, good to see you, my friend.
Nice to be here.
I've got a lot of ground to cover, and you a CFP, and you've been around just as long as I have. In fact, I will rub it in. You are slightly older than me.
Slightly.
But you've seen a lot of changes over the years in financial planning. So I'm going to run some things by our listeners and viewers, and I'll ask for your input. How's that?
That'll be fine.
Do you need to take some notes, or can you handle it?
Well, I will see.
Okay. Check this one out. The richer you are, the longer you should wait to take your Social Security. Have you ever thought about that one? The richer you are, the longer you should wait to take Social Security. This is very interesting stuff. And by the way, even if you're not rich, you probably should wait to take your Social Security. In particular, if you watch your weight and you wear your seatbelt and all the other things that are important to stay alive. Here's what we know. And this was from Think Advisor once upon a time. Most retirees leave a lot of spending on the table, they say, by not creating a retirement income strategy. Yes, indeed. They claim Social Security at 62, invest the money in the market, then spend the required minimum withdrawal from their retirement savings. These retirees are falling victim to the endorsement effect, they claim. They think the government is telling them how to plan a retirement income strategy using rules that were created for a completely different purpose. You can do better. That's the intro. Let me get to the strategy. Step number one, postpone taking your Social Security. Here's what the administration says, the Social Security Administration. They say the longevity gap between the top half and the bottom half of earners has been widening in recent decades. The top earning half of workers born in 1912 lived about a year longer than the bottom half. Among workers born in 1937, that gap widened to 5 years, and gains in longevity have increased in nearly linear fashion by level of income. The top 10% earning men born in 1940 gained 6 years of longevity compared to men born in 1920. So what is that? That's about for every 3 months or so, or for every, well, you gain, let's see, for every 100 days it's 6 years, 6 into 23, 3 months, every 3 months. Oh, God. They said there wouldn't be math. Anyway, what is that, Gino? 20 years.
You have to be back at 6 into 20.
Well, 20 years, if you gain 6 years of longevity for every 20 years, think about that.
I'm thinking, okay.
Okay, so how many months is that for every?
Well, 6 years is 72 months. It's 72 months.
Well, no, but I'm saying it's 3 1/3 months. Every 3 1/3 months. Anyway, you can do the math, folks. The point is we're living longer, and check this out. This is incredible because insurance companies already know that rich people are living longer. The new 2012 annuity longevity tables show that a couple age 65 has a 43% chance that one spouse will live to age 95, compared to a 20% chance if you use the Social Security mortality tables. That's a big difference, and of course it means the higher income clients that Gene Pastula has get a better deal from deferring Social Security because they're using outdated tables. So this is a way to legally, Gene, game the system. Because if you are a person of means, you are likely to live longer. Social Security's about, 20 or 30 years behind schedule using old life expectancy tables. Now we know that individuals are living longer, and the wealthier individuals are even living longer than regular folk.
Yeah, there's two parts to that. One, what you've just said about, being able to obviously collect benefits for a longer period of time and therefore get more out of the system. But the other thing is that the way Social Security is taxed or not taxed, when you are drawing down income and from Social Security in addition to income from your portfolio, the income from the Social Security is taxed less. Well, a lesser percentage of it is taxed. So you get a double hit. Not only do you get more money for a longer period of time, but that extra money is not taxed like the rest of your earnings from your qualified plans and other investments. I went through just a whole thing about that with a presenter about a week or so ago, and of course, you saw me I got sidetracked on your 6 into whatever it was. So the minor details are something that I don't, I would have to obviously research. But the point was made.
I've got it all up
You
here.
know that.
Yeah,
okay.
I know everything.
So
yes.
I'll defer to you on that.
Fine,
but I think that's a
fine.
very interesting.
Well, it is.
thing.
I know exactly where you're going with that.
Okay.
Because
Actually, I just finished. That's the end of it.
Oh, that's the end?
I wasn't going anywhere else.
Okay, there you have it. Gene Pastula, thank you very much.
Nowhere else to go.
Thank you very much for joining me on the program. We'll talk to you next time. Here is where Gene went with that, because frankly, it made about as much sense as what I was talking about earlier. When you take your Social Security, in addition to your pension income, in addition to either required minimum distributions or distributions from your IRAs, et cetera, once you reach a certain threshold, married couples, it's $32,000, your Social Security begins to be taxed. When your modified adjusted gross income is $32,000 as a married couple, then 50% of your Social Security becomes subject to taxes. Once it goes beyond $44,000, 85% of the Social Security becomes taxable. So there are different thresholds from which you may be charged a tax bracket as high as 22% to as high as 46% on that extra marginal money you take out of Social Security, because every dollar that comes out adds to your income and 85 cents of it becomes potentially taxable. By delaying the Social Security and draining down your portfolio, obviously you have a better opportunity to pay less taxes while also gaining about 8% per year for every year that you delay taking it. That make sense now?
Clear as a bell.
Exactly. Let me bring up one other thing, and we talked a little bit about this yesterday in hour number 2. This is why having some tax-free income and tax-deferred growing assets can make a lot of sense. Because if you get to that retirement point and you start to make these decisions, and it's hard to argue with the fact that the Social Security Administration, at least right now, are using wrong tables to calculate your benefits. They're using tables expecting you to croak at 82 or 78 or whatever, and you're not going to croak at 72 or 82. You might croak at 98. So obviously, delaying the Social Security benefit and getting an extra 32% from age 66 to age 70, that's 32% for what theoretically could be a lot longer time period. So when you start thinking about blending, and I've talked about this like 1,000 times, blending your taxable money with your tax-deferred money with some tax-free money, the three of those combining together to keep you in the lower income tax brackets may mean paying less tax on your Social Security and a much, much bigger inheritance for your kids and grandkids, which you know I'm a big fan of, kids and grandkids. Grandkids more than kids. But I'm a big fan of just about anybody younger than Gene Pastula and me, which is most everybody, I'm sure, listening. 844-RAY Show. We'll take a break on that and come back with Mr. Gene, see what he's got on his brain, which, quite frankly, is usually not that much. But we'll check him out when we come back. Don't go away. My pal, Gene Pastula, certified financial planner, co-host, right here with me on the Ray Lucia Show. Don't go away.